Wake up, everybody, let's elevate your mind. Live your life without limits, no more wasting time. Don't forget to stay focused while continuing to stay on the grind. Keep your vision real tight, then your future be bright until the finish line.
Good morning, Living Your Life Without Limits family. Thank you again for joining me this week for Getting Fit and Fabulous. Today I have a special guest with me in the studio, and he is affectionately known as Trainer Jon. Trainer Jon is a celebrity trainer, motivational speaker, and a health coach. And I'm so glad to have him with us. He has over 25 years of experience in this arena. And join me as I welcome Trainer Jon.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great, wonderful. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
I'm glad to have you on the show. Very excited. So today we're going to be talking about getting fit and fabulous,
Yes.
and dealing with what we can do on our day-to-day basis to help us stay fit. Many of us have bought, I'm guilty of this, I'll mention me first. Many of us have bought memberships in the past, and I go to Costco's, I buy the 2-year membership, and I don't go as often because I'm busy. So where a lot of us are on the go, and you have busy lives. So we need to be fit. We need to have physical activity. We need to incorporate health into the field. And that's why I thought about you and wanted to bring you on the show. But before you educate us, tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to go into this field.
Okay, so my background started like when I was really young. I've always been interested in the human body, always in health and fitness. I used to love when I was in school, like biology class and health class, and just learning all about like how the body works. And so when I went to college, I then went into radiology because I didn't know which field kind of like to go, but I knew I wanted to be in the health and fitness field. So I did go to school for radiology. And while I was in it and then started getting into the hospital, it just got really depressing for me, just to see everybody sick and on meds or some kind of health issue. So I was like, this is not like what I want to see. So I got into the gym, started working out, then I got into competition. And then from there, that's when I noticed like, this is what I love. I want to work with people and help people before they get to the hospital point.
So be preventative, proactive.
More preventive. So that's how the whole fitness journey then started.
Wow. Very good. That's very good.
Yeah.
That was good. So it motivated you to go into that field.
Yeah.
Excellent. I appreciate that, because a lot of times, even in the health field, I am a registered nurse and have been one for 28 years now. And we do see not just patients, but even healthcare providers. We don't necessarily always take care of ourselves. And then when something happens, it forces you have to do it. And that's why on Living Your Life Without Limits, we want to start educating and empowering ourselves and taking on better habits. And that's why you're part of this today.
Yeah, thank you.
So talk to us about fitness and health and how we can incorporate this, as I mentioned earlier today.
Right.
Those of us that are on the go, or even some people may not necessarily have the finance to go to the gym, or they may already have physical illnesses such as joint issues or back pain or just mobility issues, or just physically don't have the drive to do it. But so what can we do on a daily basis to get healthy? So the floor is open to Trainer Jon to educate us, family.
So on a daily basis, the main thing with whole health and fitness is that you just want to move. We as humans are designed to move. We're not, of course, like with everyone's like life and work, The only movement that we get is going to the car, from the car to the office, from the office to a chair.
Yes.
Where you're sitting for like 8 to 12 to 14 hours, depending on your profession or anything like that. So then we stop moving. We stop burning calories. We consume way more than we are putting out. So with health and fitness, the thing is to flip that table around. You want to like at least burn more than what you take in. So the whole thing is just to move. Now, of course, like you said about the gym, like a lot of people go and then like buy these memberships because they're like, okay, yes, I know I need to like work out and I know I need to get healthy and I need to get fit. But, the first thing is I just know you go to the gym. So they go to the gym, buy memberships, don't use them or use them for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, life happens and then you stop using it. So the thing I like is like when I try to teach people is that you want to like find something that you love doing.
I like that.
Rather than because, of course, like a lot of people don't know. They just know, okay, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to use machines. Or I'm going to take a class or whatever. But then you go. And then a lot of people feel awkward. Or you might have insecurity issues. Or you're like, I don't want people to see me. Or you try to go and then you just don't know what you're doing, how to use any equipment or anything like that. And that is the thing that prevents a lot of people from continuing and sticking with a health and a fitness program. So I like to tell people, hey, if you like doing weights, then do some weights, then you kind of like get educated then on like how to use the machine, how to do the weights. If you like taking a class, you like to dance, maybe you like outdoors, maybe you like hiking, everything doesn't have to be inside of a gym, so you want to find something that kind of like will help to keep you motivated to like go,
So what I'm hearing you say, we have to be consistent. Whatever we're going to do.
Whatever, yes.
Okay.
The main and most important thing is consistency. Things don't happen overnight. If a person who may put on like 10 pounds or 20 pounds or anything like that, or like from the holiday season, we all love to eat. It's a big eating time. We're with family and stuff like that. People's weights could skyrocket between 20 to 40 pounds.
Yes.
Easily. That stuff took a consistent habit of doing, of eating the wrong thing every day.
Every day.
Consistently.
Yes.
So for working out to get it off, it's the same thing.
Yes.
You have to like start a program, be active every day, consistently, to start the process into reverse, of the weight loss. Like time is like a big issue. So I love to like teach people things to do at home that maybe only takes between 8 to 10 minutes, 20 to 30, depending on how much time you have. Things that you could do to kind of keep you moving, to keep, to start the wheel turning. The whole thing is that you just want to start. Just start. That's the biggest part. That's the hardest part with anything. It's the first step. Once you get started, then the wheel start turning. And then you feel, then you'll realize that like, hey, that felt pretty good. Or you might be like a little sore just from like moving and things like that, doing stuff that you're not used to.
Yes.
You might be like, that's I'm a little sore, but then the soreness will feel good because you got that from actually doing something healthy.
Yes.
And then that one day could probably turn into like 2 days, and then that 2 days will turn into like 3 days, and then that is how then the program then start moving. Your energy will go up. So
let me ask this question. A lot of times, even when you go to the doctors now, a lot of the physicians' offices will ask you, well, how much physical activity do you do and how often you do it and how many minutes? So is there a sweet spot for our viewers to know that will kind of give us that consistency regardless to what the physical activity is or the health fitness program is?
Right.
What is that sweet spot?
The sweet spot, you want to at least do some kind of physical activity for at least like 30 minutes.
Okay.
about 3 times a week.
Okay. So 30 minutes, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you cannot do 30 minutes, like at least 3 times a week, you could just break it up. You could do 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
Okay.
The idea is just to get active at, for whatever duration of time throughout the week. And then once you get started doing that, the time then will start to increase. And it will increase because
you see results. You see results. You feel good. You can
start
fit in
feeling
that
good.
dress.
Yes.
You can fit in that suit.
Yes.
People start saying, "Oh, you look good. You've lost
Yeah.
weight."
Or people
Oh.
just start saying, hey, there's something different about you. Even though you physically haven't started changing, but your mindset start changing. You start glowing. You have more energy. You might feel a lot more like up and better about yourself.
And confidence increases a
Yes.
lot. What I do find a lot of times is that sometimes when we're unhealthy, whether it's weight or not weight, just body is unhealthy, it weighs on our spirit and our confidence.
Yes.
But when we are physically active
Right.
and moving and doing, and we are healthier in mind, body, and spirit,
Yes.
it increases our
Yes.
confidence. Is that true?
100%. A lot of people don't understand, like, if you become inactive, like, everything starts to slow down.
Yes.
Your metabolism slows down.
Absolutely.
Your energy
Absolutely.
slows down. You start to lag a lot.
Your drive slows down.
Your drive,
Your motivation slows down.
Everything
Yeah.
starts to just
Correct.
slows down. So you keep doing that over a period of time, you find yourself then, maybe feeling a lot more, feeling depressed more often. Your mind gets foggy. You might find like your attitude or your emotions or your mood is swinging so much. And that's because you're just totally off balance.
And oftentimes people begin to isolate themselves, which is what
Right.
we don't want.
Correct.
Enclose and isolate themselves.
Yes. And then, with the confidence, you start to also get insecure because now, the weight starts slowly picking up. You might have your favorite pair of jeans or that favorite dress, and then all of a sudden it's starting to feel a little bit snug,
Right.
And that's normally like the key of like, oh, okay, hey, maybe I need to like slow down. Let me like see what I'm doing and start to make changes. But what like most people do is instead of, realizing those like little signs, they just go and just buy something else bigger.
Right. That's true.
And
We mask it. That's true.
And we mask it. And
Yeah.
then what happens, you buy something that's bigger, and then you keep on that same program. And then all of a sudden, now that outfit now is starting to snug,
Correct.
Then you buying something bigger to
And
cover
ladies,
that.
he's not just talking about females.
No,
He's men too.
no. Men
Okay,
too.
so
Yes.
men as well, they also
Yes.
have challenges, not just us females. So
No.
I want to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
we're
I'm not
clear
talking about-
that
yes.
we're talking about all genders.
Yes.
All genders. All genders. So Trainer Jon brought some goodies with him today, that some things that we may not think can be used to help us in our workout. Basic things that you have around the house, and he's going to do a little demonstrating for us as well.
Yes, I have like a lot of different things. We have gallon water bottles. Everybody has like water bottles. It don't have to be like this size, but you have some kind of like water bottles.
So what will we do with that?
Now the water bottle actually could be used as a weight. So you could do different things just holding the water bottle, walking around doing like little squats or doing like lift ups or different other kind of like exercises that you could use for the water bottle. Now the gallon water bottle is like a little bit heavier, so if you not able like to handle that much weight, then we have like canned goods. Canned goods also could be used as like, to mimic a dumbbell, like 3-pound dumbbells, and you could do different like things that's like a range of motion things that you could use like with just basic canned goods. Now, if you really want to get like a little bit more advanced and things like that, then we have like, like bands. You could do a full complete workout with this like little really stretchy band. You could and here we have 2 different bands. This is like, of course, different resistance, so when you get stronger and you start to feel like a little bit better and you want to kind of increase the resistance, then you have like stronger band. The same thing with the canned goods. Basic canned goods is like here, they about 2 to 3 pounds of that.
And a bag of canned goods can be heavy. I mean, really,
right.
They really can put some weight. So is this like, what is this considered? Like arm curls?
Yeah. So if you like curl like that, you could do arm curls. You could hold the cans in both hands. One can. You could do like shoulder presses. You could do side lateral raises.
Let me see that one. All right, family. I'm gonna see what we here. So here what would I do with this? Like,
so those you could use. I mean, you could like just hold them to your side, and then you could just basically like a curl. You could do a curl up in a press.
So if you don't even have money to buy.
So if you don't have, even if you don't have money to buy weights, look in your house to see if you have basic canned goods, if you have gallon water bottle, or you have basic like your 1 liter bottles of water. You fill those bad babies up with water. They also could be used as weights, and also you could use, with everybody having a house, it's a chair. Yes. Chair also could be used, as a device that you could just hold on to and to stabilize you, and you could do like a lot of lower body like exercises, like leg lifts and like side leg lifts, and back for the work like your glutes.
So for people that, as we talked about earlier, that have healthcare issues with mobility, arthritis, and joint issues, or breathing issues, chair exercises may be an alternative to start with some movement.
So I would say, if you do have any kind of like arthritis issues, maybe you have like knee pain, you have back pain, or you maybe have arthritis in your ankle or anything like that, I would suggest, start sitting down. Use your chair. Preferably you want to get a chair that doesn't have like arms, like armrests. So therefore you could be a little bit more mobile, and you could just do basic things like sitting down, lifting up your leg, and bringing your knee into your chest, and then down, and then like up and down, or looking up from the leg and then doing like a leg extension, just basically kicking your leg out and then bringing it back down and kicking it out. You could just do things in the chair like this, arm circles, rotating your arms backwards, then again like forwards. You could do stretches, like you could just go over your head and reach, and then to the other side and like reach. Bring your arms up and then bring your arms down and up and then down. So there's a lot of things that you could just do basically in the chair, just to get your body movement, and moving and things like that. It's the same thing with like if you're working like with seniors and things like that. A lot of seniors have mobility issues, so they basically do chair workouts. There are plenty of like classes and videos, especially in like assisted living homes and things like that, where people work with seniors, and the whole thing is all in the chair. Doing chair workouts and things like that. Hey, maybe you could find maybe even to like a wheelchair, and something like that. So you could do things in the chair by moving just like your upper body.
Now, I know you do a lot of personal training, not just for celebrities, but you have other private clients as well. And we're going to get Jon's information, trainer Jon's information at the end, and we will also have it attached to this video. So for anyone that may want to have private sessions, a consultation with him, you can definitely be able to reach out. But one of the things I know that you offer is a health screening first.
Yes.
That you have them fill out a questionnaire. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So
and the importance of that.
Yeah, it's very important. So like before I start with anybody, I do have like a medical background sheet, and then just on that sheet it just like like a lot of different like boxes and things like that for different types of like medical issues. If you have any kind of like heart issues, past surgeries, joint pains, any spinal pains, or spinal injuries, herniated discs or anything like that. High blood pressure issues, lung issues, if you have asthma or anything like that. That kind of stuff is like really, really important that you have to know, because then you have to know how to then program a safe workout for that individual. Like if there is anything that's like really chronic and like serious, I always ask them to make sure I have, if they could get like
a release from the doctor.
From the doctor.
Absolutely.
To make sure that
and I
want to
emphasize that even more for the viewers, and I'm glad that you touched on that, because one of the things that's very important is that when you start your health fitness regimen, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you're medically stable to perform whatever functions that you are doing, whether you're doing them with a personal trainer such as Trainer Jon, or taking on these tasks at home by yourself, because you want to do things within your limitations.
Correct.
That you can do safely without causing injury or harm to yourself.
Yes.
And that's why the things that we're talking about and how he started this program is saying it's customized, it's personalized. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for someone else. But you want to find something that you can do on a consistent basis to help you in your overall health and fitness journey.
And I'm on this new thing now where I want to like teach people of like things that you could just do that will help to get you started in some kind of like fitness way of moving your body when you first get out the bed in the morning, or you could do, like before you go to sleep. I show people like a lot of things that you could just do on your lunchtime, like, or if you're sitting down at your computer, like if you get a break. Like, okay, so like things that you could do in the morning. So you could get up in the morning, after you use the bathroom and all of that kind of stuff. It's basically just getting by the bed. And you could do things like I was talking about, like arm circles. You could just do that. You could do like twisting around, move your legs, move your joints and things like that. That kind of stuff is good anyway, because when you first get up, your body temperature is like lower. Everything's a lot more tighter, the joints might like little ache and things like that. So it's good to get the blood pressure.
Is that like
going.
Stretches?
It's also like stretches. There's also just like basically body movements and things like that. You could do things like wall push-ups. Wall push-ups is just basically you just stand up against the wall, you hold the wall, you just going in and then pushing yourself out, and then go in and pushing yourself out. If you are able to do that. You could do things what I call like just basically like sit-ups, which is not like a crunch sit-up, but you basically sit in the chair, okay, hold your hands, and then basically you just stand up and then sit back down, then stand up and then sit back down, and up and down out of the chair, which is basically like a squat. That works like your quad muscles and your glute muscles.
Just standing up and sitting back down.
Yes. That right there is basically what we call functional movement.
There's actually a whole functional medicine thing that's out there.
And
popular.
that kind of thing is that the stuff that you do, that you will be doing for your entire life until you die, is functional movement. Now, as you get older, what we start losing is the functional part.
Exactly.
You might see walking down the street like a lot of seniors and like some people. I've seen people who's not even that old that's walking like with a hunch in their back and things like that. Now, some of that's medical. It is a medical condition.
Sure.
Some of that is just like deterioration of all the muscles in your spine, and then because how you use it. There's another thing that you could do too to help out, to strengthen up the muscles in your back and help with your posture. So like we all know, like when we was younger, our parents like, hey, sit up straight, sit up straight. And the thing that most people suffer from, is like a lot of tightness in their back and their neck. All these muscles start to like get tight because you're either on the computer, you're hunched over like this, or when you're sitting down, you're constantly like you're slouching. Continuing of doing that, then those muscles start to like atrophy. They start to weaken. You know, then that's how you start to then develop all of the back pain and things like that. So then there's things that you could just do when you're sitting in your chair. If you do see that, it's just basically you're sitting down, and then what you could do is that you could go sit on the edge of the chair, and you could
on the edge.
Yeah, so you could sit on the edge of the chair. You put your hands on your knees, and then you could just do things like pushing your stomach like in towards your back. So you go back, then you go up, and then go back, and then up, and then back and up.
Hey, you can do a dance on it.
That's a
don't
dance.
Stop, get it, don't stop, get it, don't stop.
There's another.
Chair dance.
But you really want to focus on like when you're coming up, squeezing like and holding it for a couple of seconds when you come up, and then when you go back, because you're relaxing, you come up and you squeeze. That's another thing that you can also do that helps like with your your lateral obliques and things like that. And then you could just go around, do circles with your body. So you could just go around, and then you're twisting and it's moving like from your hips from the waist up. So you just go.
It's a dance move. You teach a chair dance.
And you could go
I'm gonna do a new viral thing called the chair dance.
Okay.
That's great. You feel that going in and out.
And then you could do like side bends. So you could do things like where you bend it to the side, and then you come to the other side. And then you go to one side and then to the other side.
You actually feel that when you actually going in and out with that stomach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now take it. That is stuff that is just like for movement. And they help, like, to keep these muscles engaged. You won't get a six-pack doing that now. So, things are getting, like, your abs down, and, like, the six-pack to show has everything to do, basically, with diet.
Okay.
The way you eat.
Okay.
It's like, That's the part that everybody hates hearing, but everybody knows that we have to do.
Tell us the truth. We want to know the truth.
So, diet is like 85% of this whole program. The working out and things like that, being active is like really, really great. That helps like with everything. But if you do want to like see like decrease in size, decrease in fat loss, and the change in your physical like form, then that's what diet like kinds of play the place.
So what are some of the things within the diet that we should really concentrate on?
The thing is with the diet is that it's portion control.
Absolutely.
It's all portion sizes.
I'm on the portion control journey.
Yeah.
Myself
that is like the biggest part. And even though we might know like, hey, we know we need to eat less and things like that, we like most of us really don't know how much of what to eat. If you don't have a measuring cup or anything like that, what is like a quarter cup of rice, or a 4 ounce of like a chicken breast, or 4 ounce of fish. Basically, I was like teachers like it's like about the size of your palm, or like a deck of cards, all right, things like that. But the biggest thing is, even if you don't want to go to that extreme, but you want to learn, is that you want to start to like cut your portion sizes in half.
Yes.
Some people just don't know how to cook, and everything is like quick on the fast, on the go, or you out and you want to go have lunch with your colleague, and you be like, hey, I know I do want to eat healthy, so the most big thing is, hey, I want to have a salad. The majority of the sizes and the portions of these salads and stuff like now, it's enough to feed like 4 people.
Yeah, they give you a lot.
So
what I've started doing was ask for a to-go box early.
Yes.
That makes you psychologically only eat so much.
Right.
So when they bring it, can you make sure you bring me a to-go box? I'm not going to eat all of this.
Yeah.
And I find that being very helpful for me.
Yes. Or what you could do also, you could ask for like a smaller plate.
Yeah. And
If
some
you
places do have smaller
As in fact,
portions
most
now.
people have like
Yeah.
a smaller plate. So if
Yeah.
you do get the salad, and it's here and you got a amount of salad, you could also ask, hey, can I have a smaller plate? What you could then do is just cut that salad in half, put it on a smaller plate, eat this smaller plate, and then like you said, put the rest in a to-go box. Now, if you don't really have time to prepare anything like that from that one salad, you could probably get 3 meals out of that one salad. If you have like the steak or like your chicken or like your salmon, all that stuff is like still big because they're mostly like between 6 to 8 ounces like of meat and things like that.
Excellent.
So you just want to cut it in half. That little side you have, cut it in half, and then eat that little half. Take the rest to go.
You're absolutely right. So we know that you can't lose weight with just physical. It has to be
Right.
with diet management and control.
Correct.
So now we talked about that, and you talked about the abs being the core. What are some other core areas that people struggle? I'm guilty of that with my arms. How do you get the
Yes.
arms toned? Arms, legs, and butt are other 3
Yes.
areas that people tend to.
Those are like
focus
our
on.
main, areas.
Yes. Yeah.
Guys want the chest and the
Yes.
arms.
Yeah.
A lot of women want, a firm butt and to lose like maybe interest in their thighs, so they want their thighs to look
More
good.
tone. So
and
what
they
are
want their arms and their
exercises that
tongue.
can focus on those areas?
So if we're talking like, I'm gonna break it down, like if we are like talking about like upper body and things like that. Like I said before, the wall pushes. When you do wall pushes, that works your pectoral muscles. That also does work like your triceps and like your front delts, which is like your front shoulder muscles. You could do things like if you do have your chair or whatever like that, what we call like a dip. Dips are like, you basically hold on to the chair, you bring out and then you're bringing your body down and you're pushing yourself up. That is a big one for working out your tricep muscles, which is a lot of women they want to do. They want to work out the back because
Yes.
some women have like really weak triceps and things like that, and they want to tone them up. You could use your can, for instance, and then you could do things like overhead, like a little press. So you bring your hands and it's kicking up, and then here, and then raise, and then here, and then raise. That also works out like your tricep muscles. If you have you have 2 cans, you can lean forward. And you could do like we call a kickback, and you just hold forward, and then you push your arm back, and you push your arms back this way. That also work like your triceps. If you want to work out your front of your arms, like we were showing earlier, you could do things like curls. You could use the stretchy bands. You could hold the stretchy bands so like on your feet, and then you could do things like, curls like this way.
Okay.
If you have something to maybe at home or whatever, you could like tie the band around. That's kind of like stable, things like that. You could
Like
stand
a door
up,
or something?
like a door or anything like that. You could stand up. You could do curls like that way. You could also take the band, bring your arms back, and then still use the band to work like the triceps. You can hold the band this way, and then still do like things like that with your, for to work your triceps. Legs are like pretty easy. Legs is you want to be able to like engage the quad muscles and the glute muscles, and the way to do that is basically like what most people know. It's like your basic squat. Okay, where you're standing up and you bend down and then up and then bend down and up. That works out most of like your leg muscles. Thing like I said like earlier, when you sit in a chair, you could do like chair squats. Where you just sit in the chair and then you stand up and coming down and then stand up and then like down. If you do have limitations, and you're not able to like do those kind of things, there are other ways to work like your quad muscles, and that is like what I was saying earlier, where you want to do, you could bring your leg up and you could just do like leg lifts. Okay. if you do have a chair like with the armrest, you can brace yourself. You could bring both legs up and then kick them out
that's
that
good.
way.
That's a good one.
And that works like your quad muscles and things like that. I mean, another kind of advanced thing, you could also use like the band. It'd be really kind of like hard to do yourself though, but you could take the band, put them on your ankles. You take the other side, and it goes like on the back of the chair or anything like that. And then the band could be used as a resistance, and you could go up. If you have more mobility and you really don't have any kind of like limitations at all, you could basically take your hands, lean against on your chair, like you're leaning down, and then you could do like a kick back. So you basically bring like your feet in and push your leg back. Bring your feet in and push your leg back. You know, you could do that like for like 12 to like 15 times, 20 times, if you can, like a few rounds of that. Okay, that's all stuff that will not take that more than like 2 minutes
to get done.
to get done.
The key is consistency.
The key is consistency.
So you covered a lot, Trainer Jon,
Yeah.
today. And thank you for your time and your expertise. So if you were to have to summarize this as we're getting ready to close this, what are the key things you want the viewers and the listeners to take from today's conversation? Because it was a lot of information.
Yeah,
and
that's a
I'm
lot.
hoping that many people tune in because you gave us helpful things that we can do every day, and I thank you for that. Practical things, and that's what Living Your Life Without Limits is about. Teaching and incorporating practical things into our everyday life that we can be consistent. So tell us, what are those takeaways that you want us to kind of keep in our mind to take with us and incorporate in our daily living? What would that be?
It's just starting, Another thing is like support.
Yes.
Support group. You know,
Yes.
like I said earlier, the hardest part is just like getting that drive just to make that first go.
Yeah.
Exactly. My thing is just start doing anything, even if you get out of the bed or before you go to sleep. If you just start moving your body in some kind of like way, of course, like exercise way, that right there would then start to like train your brain
Right.
to actually start to like do something. And that little bit will start to like build up to a lot. And then next thing you know, you're like, okay, hey, I want to start to like, take walks, before I go in the house or whatever like that. Instead of sitting down and watch TV, maybe, I just walk around the block, if you can, like up the street, or I just do some kind of like little step, like little program or something like that, in the house. But the main thing is just getting started. Find friends. You want to build
Very
up
good.
a good support group, Be around like-minded people. Find other people who are actually doing something. Just being around that kind of like energy and those kind of like, positive-minded people will start to like help you. Before you know it, you actually are starting, on your whole workout journey.
Excellent. Thank you. That was very good. So tell us how we can reach you.
Okay, so you can reach me on social media. Go by Trainer Jon, Trainer Jon Inc. So on Facebook, I'm at Trainer Jon Inc. That's my Facebook page. Instagram, I'm at Trainer Jon Inc. _ Twitter, I'm at Trainer Jon Inc. And then if you like want to just Google me or anything like that, you can just find me under Trainer Jon Inc.
Excellent. So I want to also thank Trainer Jon again for coming into the studio with me today and dropping some very practical knowledge that we need to continue our health journey. And I want to also thank you, the viewers, for continuing to tune in. As your host, it is my endeavor to bring you information so that you can make informed decisions. But I want to bring you things that's going to help you to continue to live your life without limits. And that's every aspect of your life. So continue to stay connected. Remember to love yourself, take care of yourself, because guess what? You are worth it. See you next week. God bless you, and I love you all.
Thanks for joining us here at Living Your Life Without Limits with your host, Shannon Jackson. You always know she always brings you quality content all the time with each and every episode she creates, and that is just for you. You know, Shannon has done her part. Now's the time for you to do yours. You need to take action. Show her your love. Click on that subscribe button and get your content every single week. Quality content you can find nowhere else. Want more content on the go? No problem. Go to our website at livingyourlifewithoutlimits.com. We're also on the social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn, iTunes, and Spotify. Thanks again for joining us today. Tune in next time for another episode of Living Your Life Without Limits and subscribe today.